Hi everyone, this is the first video about these prints, how I put them up and how I connected them to the wall and how I cut them, that kind of thing. And in the second video, I'll show you guys how I actually printed these and how I got the border to look correct. So what is this? Well, these are these gorgeous little Polaroid style prints. I guess, in most countries there's a place where you can order prints. And I made the white border myself because if I wanted to actually get the printing place to do the white border for me, those cost about 50p per print. I wanted 150 and then more. So this was just my first batch, and actually I want to put them all the way to the edges now. I was thinking of putting shelves sort of mixed in with this, but now that I see how gorgeous this looks, I'm not going to put any shelves in. I'll use the shelves somewhere else. I bought 10 of these really nice shelves that I think would look really interesting. Hey, kitty. I couldn't find any place that did the border longer on one side. So it was always just a set amount, just like a square border rather than like a Polaroid style with the longer bit at the bottom. So that's why I made my own border, and the total cost here was about £7 to print all of them and have them shipped to me, and then another about £3 for all the connections to the wall. So, these 200 pins and 200 of these little ring loops, which I'll go into a little more in a second. I'll put a link below to my Photoshop action. For those that don't want to wait for part 2 of this video, the action that adds this white border. And a Photoshop action is like an automated process in Photoshop. So I made that because I couldn't find any other solution to this for about £10 plus a little bit of time. I think this looks absolutely just gorgeous. And this will look really nice on a white wall as well, pretty much any color wall. Okay, so before we get started on the proper version, let me show you guys the lazy version. And this, I think, gives you an idea of why you should actually spend the time to make these look good. These, I just found some old prints from years ago. And, 6x4s, cut off the top and bottom into sort of a square shape. And I think you can kind of tell it doesn't look very good. I mean, I'm sure there's things that look worse as decorations on the wall, but this, in my opinion, just doesn't look nice. If you hang them like this with the little clip sort of only half on the print, then if there's wind, then some of them will fall on the floor. So the fix for that is to actually put them like this, where the, as you can see, that clip is going all the way onto there. So that means that it's a little more difficult to actually swap them around because you need to sort of pull it down a bit before you can lift it out. Okay, so here I found a nice way for cutting these really evenly without buying a guillotine or whatever, just using the tools I have at home. Make sure that they are, correct, not, that you don't have one of them flipped or something. Line them up really neatly. Quite a big stack. This is too small, so, a stack like maybe 20 of them. I've set it so that the ruler is the thickness that I'm using, so that's basically the thickness of the ruler. So I put the ruler to the edge of the photo and then cut. So basically I put the ruler so it reaches the edge of this, and then it's just a really easy way without measuring each bunch of photos, and a clamp. So there's probably better ways to hold this down, but this is just what I had. Don't press down hard with a knife. You want to be quite gentle. You're only trying to get through about 1 or 2 pieces of paper each time you do this. Make sure you're keeping the knife straight so it's pointing downwards, not like that or like that. And you've got your photos beautifully cut, nice and easy. And do remember to check that every photo is in the correct orientation, otherwise you'll end up with some photos cut in half. So the way that they're connected to the wall is I take these little 10mm keyring loops. I'll put links to everything down below. And that just holds onto there. For me, this was perfect. And in my opinion, this looks sort of nice. So these were about £1 or £2 for a pack of 200 or whatever. Pins, once again, £1 or £2 for a pack of 200. Here, the wall that I really want to put these on is the hardest wall in the house. All the other walls, I can just push the pins in, which would have been great if I could do that with the main wall. So for example here, these pins, just push them in, and that would have been so easy if I could do that on this wall, but I can't. On this wall, I need to use a hammer. The way that I've marked this out was actually really easy, but you need to do it in the correct method. You want to measure it out. So I started from the ceiling, because that's going to be the most noticeable. 15 centimeters from, between each one of these little strings. And then between them, 13 centimeters. I marked it out, and so that was pretty easy. So you just hold it like this and mark it with a pencil, do that all the way on one side, all the way on the other side. So get some thread, for sewing, and some masking tape. So take the masking tape, put it on your wrist, take the thread and this is important to do this like this, because I tried to do this with pins, to like tie it to the pins and put the pins in. I think I wasted at least half an hour on that and it just failed completely. What was super easy is to take a piece of this and then put that there like that, and then put that on the wall. Like, I mean, just as an example, put it there and then make sure that's holding, and then walk to the other side. Still got this on here. Find your marking on the other side, because I've marked both sides with a pencil. Take a piece and put that there, and make sure that's aligned with the mark. And then I didn't bother to cut it. I found it way easier to just literally go up to the next one, and that's it. Just do the next one like that. Piece of masking tape, put it on, walk to the other side. So the entire wall took me about 10 minutes. I went along here and marked 13 centimeter gaps on one of the lines, not on all of them, because if you want to do it on all of them, it would take ages. A piece of wood and a pencil, placed it there just really roughly, just by looking at it. So marked just lines like that. And once again, that took me about 5-10 minutes to do the entire wall. Just, wear some eye protection, eye goggles. These are Bole, which are the ones that I like. If you've got a wall that's a bit difficult for these to go into, hold it with a pair of pliers, and you want some needle nose pliers. They don't have to be fancy ones like this. Any cheap needle nose pliers. Put it in all the way like that, because what we're trying to make it do is not bend. Don't hold it in the air like this, but hold it with your hand touching the wall, because what we want to avoid movement. So you want little taps to avoid damaging your pin, and the pin is in. I have links to everything I've spoken about down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!